All right, we're ready to go.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to our tip of the day call. And I especially love these calls. I really do, and I think everybody does, because of the interaction among our teams. I think that is so important. I think that we learn more from each other than we do just on our own. And so tonight, we're going to share recognition of our region, and we're going to focus on the 30 and 30. And also, we're going to have a few ahas from the girls that went to impact training in Kansas and in New York. And there's just because I think all the rest of us still have impact to go. I know we're going this weekend. So we're excited to hear all the wins from the 30-30, 30 and 30, and the AHA. And you guys, how many times, I've heard this question asked on all these learning birds, how many times have we heard to be successful in Arbonne, you have to talk to at least 30 people a month? I bet we have heard that since day one. All right? You have to get in front of 30 people. Countless numbers of times. But how many times have we actually accomplished this goal? All right? And so, Kim, before you go, and before I do the 1 through 5, I would love for you to talk just a little bit about how this is such a great income-producing activity, and it's duplicable. You guys, if it doesn't matter how great an idea is, if it cannot be duplicated, it cannot grow our businesses. So, Kim?
All right, thanks, Eleanor. Well, I want to welcome everyone tonight. Looks like we got a great team on here. And I want to let you know, if you're not speaking, go ahead and mute yourself because we do have some background noise going on. And that way, when people listen to the recording, they can actually hear the voices. So you want me to do recognition first or my tip?
We can do recognition first.
And then matter to me, whichever one.
Why don't you do goals? Or why don't you do that first, because that's the meat.
Okay.
Because we did recognition on the nation call, and then we can do recognition.
Okay, sounds great. So, about the 30 and 30, when I first came across the 30 and 30, it struck me like a brick of gold. We have been doing the 40 Faces forever, I think, forever. And when I heard the training for the 30 and 30, I thought, oh my goodness, this is so simple to do. And when something is simple to do, it's simple to duplicate. And when we can duplicate this through each and every one of our businesses, that is how we grow. And so just, make your goal for September, October, and November to participate in the 30 and 30 challenge. And if you don't know what that is yet, I know Eleanor has it posted all over her Facebook group page. I have it posted all over my Facebook group page. There is a lot of training, and we're not going to take your individual time to train you on how to do the 30 and 30 because it is so simple. All you have to do is listen to the calls, the SoundCloud calls that are posted, or listen to or watch the videos that are posted. And each one of those, and I think there's 3 to 4 of them, and if you watch or listen to all 3 or 4, you'll know exactly how to do the 30 and 30. And to listen and watch all those is going to take you less than 1 hour because they're all very short, 30 minutes or less. And so you're going to know exactly how to do the 30 and 30. You're going to get the verbiage. We've actually even posted the verbiage on our team pages. So from your phone, if you access that on your phone, you can copy, and then you can paste it into your text message to the person that you're going to text that text script to, and send that out to at least 100 people. And I know, and we all know 100 people. If you look at all of the names in your address book, everybody has at least 100 names in your address book on your phone. If you're a person who you have a brand new phone and you don't have 100 names, then go to your Facebook page. And I know you have 100 friends on there that you can messenger or text message those people this script. It doesn't matter who they are. We have to get over that. Get over that fear of, oh, well, this person would not be interested, or what would this person think? You know, who cares? Be that crazy person just for September, October, and November. Be that crazy person asking to just share the whole Arbonne story. It's going to take 20 minutes of their time. And you make that coffee date with them. All 100 people that you text are not going to respond back to you. And that's why we text 100, because the statistics show that out of 100, you are likely to get 30 appointments. And that's what we want to do, is get those 30 appointments. And in those recordings, it tells you, in those trainings, it tells you exactly what to do at that appointment. And if you are a new consultant or a district manager, we highly encourage you to ask your area manager or your VP to go with you on these coffee appointments, or to Zoom in with you at these coffee appointments, because we want to help you feel comfortable and be successful at these. And once you've watched us do it with you a couple of times, you'll be able to do it just like that. Nothing. And this is how you get good at Arbonne. You can't get good at Arbonne by studying. It's all in the doing. It's all in the application. That's how we get good at doing Arbonne. We actually have to get out there and do it. And so I, just like you, I have my fears about certain people. And I tell the story all the time about Laura Lockwood was one of those people that I feared. She laughs every time I say that. I was scared to ask her. And to this day, if she had not joined my team, I would copy and paste that text to her phone number, and I would be fearful to press send because of what she would think. But you know what? We can't go there, because really, Laura, I know you're on mute, but what did you think when I asked you to join my team? Did you think I was crazy? I mean, you were like, yeah, I'll take a look, I'll listen. You were nice to me, right? You were nice.
Yes.
And
yes, I was nice. I wanted to listen to what you had to say. I was curious.
And when I told you the story, you were like, well, wow, I'll try that. And that is all we're going for. That is all we're going for. So push past the fear. Send out those text messages. You know, I've been in Arbonne for a while. So pretty much the people that I have not contacted are really on my scary list, or really. But you know what? I'm going to be that crazy lady for the next 3 months, and I'm going to send out those text messages. And you know what? If they say, hey, yeah, that's great, I'll be going, oh my gosh, how wonderful, I got that appointment, you know? And if they say no, hey, what did I lose? Not a thing. And so one other thing I wanted to encourage you to do, you can send these text messages to your current PCs that you've not told the whole story to consumer consultants that need to hear the whole story. You can send these people can be part of your 30. But you know, if you use them in your 30 this month, or in your 100 this month, next month, you know, you're going to have to find some new people, because every month it's new people to text. You know, you can't text the same 100, because if they didn't answer you the first time, they're likely not going to answer you the second time. If you run into them, I would, and they didn't answer you, I would ask them in person. Say, hey, I sent you a text message, back a couple of weeks ago, and then say it right there, what the text message was. Say it right there to them. Because usually most people will not tell you no twice. Mm-hmm. And so this time they're going to tell you yes. So just step out of that fear, step out of your comfort zone and do it. All right, Eleanor, I'm going to have to pass it over to you, because I'm going to shortly have to walk out of here.
Okay, sweetie. I was going to tell you, just to add to that, this one person that I am meeting with, who's actually going to bring a couple of friends, I have Facebook messaged her any number of times, because 2 years ago she told me she was interested. I have Facebook messaged her. I have texted her. I have left phone messages. She never even got back to me. I sent this darn text to her. She got back to me immediately. I don't know what it is about this text, but there's something about it that grabs people, and they almost always say yes. Not always, but almost always. All right, Kim, you want to do recognition?
All right, now I'll do my recognition. All
Okay.
right. So this is for August recognition. It seems like we're like so far into September. August seems like blue moons ago. But for our August recognition, our 40 Faces Challenge, Brenda Fouts is in running for her Louis Vuitton, and Sherry Teeter is also in running for the Louis Vuitton. So you girls keep up your 40. Your 30 and 30, that's 30 of your 40. So, you know, do that extra 10. District managers in Qual is going to be Sherry Burkhead. She's in her first month, sponsored by myself. Tara Meacham, sponsored by me, is also in her first month. Brenda Hardy, sponsored by Laura Lockwood, is in her second month. And Rachel Ray, sponsored by Brenda Fouts, is in her second month. So our sponsoring stars, we didn't really have sponsoring stars for our team. We really need to work on that in September. The goal, you know, we've got to really sign up those preferred clients and consultants to be a growing region. But Renee Combine had 3 in August. Bonus earners, zip, not even me. And I say not even me because I rarely, there's only been maybe twice in my entire Arbonne career that I've not earned my bonus, and last month was one of them, I'm sad to say. So we didn't have any bonus earners last month. The Let's Do lunch, August incentive, I did that. So I actually got all 3 of Arbonne's summer incentives. So that was pretty fun. Our top central districts was myself at 9,421, Laura Lockwood at 5,562, Anna Hibbard at 2,503, and Brenda Fouts at 2,481. And then the top central area was myself at 13,615. And that's it. And I'm going to pass it over to you, Eleanor, and I'm going to kind of pop off of here, but I'm going to keep it running.
Okay, sweetheart. Thank you. Be safe. Okay, for us, districts in qualification, my team sometimes just continuously go into first step district, second step, third step, back to first step. But you know what? That's okay. I keep remembering Linda Parker. All right, Jenny Ricker is in district qual, and Teresa Wernette, who I hope is still on, is in district qualification.
I am.
Congratulations, Teresa. You are so much fun to work with.
Thank you.
Love it. And Rachel Lovelace is in district qualification second step. And earn manager bonus was, thank God, me. I got my AM and DM bonuses, which I love to get, you guys. Wonderful. Don't leave money on the table, but I understand, Kim, you had a car presentation. 40 Faces, Rachel Lovelace is right on for her Louis Vuitton. And top personal sponsoring was our sponsoring pretty much sucked, if that's a bad word, I'm sorry. But I had 4, Sherry had 3, Vicki Meeks had 2, Teresa Wernette had 2. Top districts, I don't recognize anyone that doesn't do at least 25. So I had 76.53, Charlotte had 41.82, and we had an awful lot of people that were so very close to 25. Top personal QV, I don't think we recognize that, so I will not do that. And beknownst to me, I earned the little lunchbox thing, and I didn't even realize I'd earned it. But I got to click on it when I was ordering the other day, and it's on its way. So that is that. So now, before we move on to interact with everybody, I just very quickly want to go over the 1 to 5. Like after you've done the interview, is Arbonne for you? All right. And by the way, Charlotte and Diana Picas, they went to Kansas, and Charlotte's going to give us her ahas in a second. But they learned a way to just do 1 to 3 instead of 1 to 5. So we will look into that and see if you guys want to do that instead. But let's just say, after you've finished with the overview, you just say something like this. Okay, just so I know how to follow up with you, Charlotte, on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, I am interested in the products only, I'm sorry, but just the product, and 5 being, oh my gosh, tell me how I can start a business with Arbonne. Where do you see yourself? Okay, if they say 1 or 2, then you're just going to ask them if they're willing to get a few friends together for an Arbonne event, and of course explain how they're going to get great products discounted and how they're going to get a free product. Just give the benefits. If they say no to that, then just show them the products and show them how they can become a preferred client. And if you need to, give them a few samples to try, because you were going to do that for them anyway. All right, if they say 3 or 4, then you just ask, hey, Charlotte, I just want to know what more information could I give you? You know, what could I provide with you that might help you to make a great decision? You know, what more information about this business? And then invite them to listen to the Discover Arbonne. And we're going to have Discover Arbonnes now on our, you know, that Facebook page or that Jules started. We're going to have Discover Arbonnes every Monday. So it's going to be really easy for us now to get people on board for a Discover Arbonne. We don't even have to go looking. Then if they say 5, you guys, you literally get them signed up and show them how to get started right away. All right, it's that simple. 1 to 5, and maybe if you guys like the what Lori Funk and Tara Brasman them did, 1 to 3. All right, so now before we go on to the 30 and 30 wins, I'm going to let Charlotte, because you're going to have to pop off for kids too in a minute. Would you just share, first of all, share your impact, and then maybe your wins, your 30 and 30 wins. I know you have a lot of them.
Sorry. I'm sorry, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, sorry, my volume went all crazy there. Were you saying to share the ahas from impact?
And then the wins from 30 and 30.
Okay. Well, of course, we were introduced to the 30 and 30 there, and Lori Funk did an amazing job sharing her wins, which pumped us all up big time for 30 and 30. And they actually challenged us to, in 24 hours, try to get 100 texts out, which was crazy. I couldn't quite do 100, but that was her kind of push for us to do. But I would say, and Diana, you can pipe in too, the thing that spoke to me the most is that Tara Bransma talked all about courage and anxiety, because that fear and that anxiety always kicks in when we're getting ready to talk, especially to those that we have on our chicken list, as we call it. And so she talked about, we want to be in what she called our optimal anxiety. And that was, to her, she said, she looked it up in the dictionary and she was giving us all these definitions about anxiety. But she said optimal anxiety is when you're just barely outside of your comfort zone. So she's saying, forget the comfort zone. We want to be in that optimal anxiety spot. And then she said that when you are in your optimal anxiety spot, then you're more productive. You're going to have an easier time dealing with those new and unexpected changes that come your way, because you're already a little bit nervous. You're a little bit anxious. And then she said that it's also going to make it easier for you to push beyond again the next time. So I just love that idea of optimal anxiety, meaning that it's okay to feel a little anxious. That's supposed to be kind of like the new normal.
That's my life.
Exactly. It's the new normal. And then what was the other thing that I wanted to say? She talked, of course, about mindset. We've talked all about this. And she kept reiterating, we need to manage our mind. Manage what we're telling ourselves. We've heard this before. And she ended with, change your vision. That'll help you change your life. So again, putting that vision out there, visualizing where your future is headed. And if you just change the way you look at things, change your vision, then that will in turn change your life and your business. So that was kind of it. So I did go home and I didn't get to 100 because we had a crazy weekend. I got home from Kansas City late on Saturday, and then Sunday was jam-packed. So I started in 24 hours. But I did start.
How many did you get to respond out of that?
Well, I was going to say I didn't do 100. So on Sunday, I would say Sunday I sent out between 10 and 15, I think. And immediately I got 3 responses of yes. I mean, immediately within just moments. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to start scheduling. And then a few kind of fell by the wayside, or I could see that on Facebook Messenger, they have seen it, but haven't responded yet. Last night I did a couple and both said yes. So they're on my calendar for tomorrow and Monday. And then this afternoon, I think I sent out an additional maybe 10, and I've already gotten 3 responses of yes. So those to me are pretty good odds, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely. We have a very enthusiastic new consultant. I love it. Oh, thank you so much, Charlotte. Diana, you are brand new and you went with Charlotte to Kansas. Was there anything you wanted to add?
I think what I wanted to say is just the environment, just being there kind of got everybody really excited just to get out of their comfort zone and not be afraid to try something new. And if you make a mistake, it's okay, because then you can show the next person, you know what, it's okay to make a mistake, because you don't have to be a professional at this, and it's really easy to work.
Awesome. Well, we are so excited that you went with Charlotte right out of the chute, right after signing up. That's the best thing you could have done. So we are so excited for you. All right, thank you. Sandy, would you like to give your aha on New York? And Teresa, I notice you're on also.
I am. My aha has been aha. All the time, everything. I hear a lot of things that really help, even tonight. Is really good. I'm glad I'm in on it. So.
Well, we're glad you are too. Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay.
Eleanor, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sandy.
Oh, that was Teresa, I think.
Oh, Teresa,
okay.
Go ahead, Teresa.
No, go Sandy first, then I'll go.
Okay. Well, first of all, I was, it was thankful to have Teresa go with me. I love going to Impact. Since I wasn't able to go to GTC this year, it was great. They did focus on the 30 and 30, and they did say that all of the slides that they presented were going to be available on the Arbonne website after the Impact Tour, which I was excited about that. They did talk about selling across product lines in addition to the 30 on 30, which I'll get back to. But they said that consultants that sell across product lines earn 32% more in commissions, which I thought was interesting. So they were saying if you're doing a healthy living presentation, give an RE9 sample. That, they always used to tell us not to take samples, but I guess if you're doing one type of presentation, you can introduce them to another product line. We had Heidi Niss, the MVP Heidi Niss and Basamba, and they just recently were engaged, and so they were both on stage together, and they talked about the 4 walls of the comfort zone. The first one being fear, the second one being laziness, and being complacent. And she's just saying, don't be entitled. Don't feel like you're entitled. The third one was the lack of belief. And she says you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the company. You have to believe in the products. The fourth one is the lack of knowledge, but you don't have to know everything. And the lid on the box, she said, is our excuses. So the 30 and 30, I love, and their company is really embracing it. And I think I mentioned to you, Eleanor, that it just seems to me like the 30 and 30 is like vitamins for your business, one a day. So
that's true.
That's it.
Or 10 a day.
Or 10 a day, yeah, if you can fit them in.
Awesome. That's great, Sandy. I love that. Vitamins for the mind, 1 a day. 1 appointment a day, 30. That's great. Okay, Teresa, before we go, would you like to share? Not before we go, but before we go on to others.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Okay. I took a lot of notes, the same training with the comfort zone. That seems to be a big theme. They want you to step outside the comfort zone. Because Charlotte said similar things too. A couple of points that I really like that resonated with me, like one-liners, is if you're doubting yourself or you fear making that phone call, just step back for a second and ask yourself, but what would I do if I were brave? And then do that. Like, think of that. What would I do if I was brave? So, and then you give yourself the power to be brave for a second. Because it just takes a minute. You just have to be brave for a minute, and then it's done, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. I also liked, what was his name, Basamba? I know that's
Yes.
I forget his name. Thank you. He came up with a great, I don't even know if he made this up or if it's an old African thing, because Heidi was trying to get him to explain where he heard this. And he said, sometimes you're working so hard and nothing's happening and nobody can tell what you're doing except you, but you know how hard you're working. He said, it's like sweating in the rain.
Oh,
And I was like, that's so true. Only you know how hard you're working, and it's your sweat, and it's being mixed. I like that too. So sometimes you got to feel like you're sweating in the rain when you're doing your Arvon. A couple of the quick one-liners. Then we had social media training too with the great MVP from New Jersey, Jen Samperino. That's the first time I ever heard her speak. And they just were reiterating, believe in your own greatness, don't lose your conviction, believe in the company, believe in the products, believe in yourself. So there was so much more. It's hard to put it all in one little thing.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
fantastic.
thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Deanna. And Teresa, our other Teresa. Is this not cool? We have consultants from the East Coast to the West Coast. I'm on this call. I just love it. Okay, who would like to share their wins with the 30-30 or just their experience with the 30 and 30?
See if it's new.
I'll go.
Eleanor, I can say one thing. I think I mentioned to you today that there was a person that was definitely on my chicken list that I have their phone number. I know them because we're moms at school. And I kind of did what Teresa just mentioned. I didn't use that great question, what would I do if I was brave? But I found myself, I'd cut and pasted it on the phone, and I'm just sitting there staring at the message, like, okay, you can do this. You can do this. And I said, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom, and I hit it. And once I hit it, it was like, oh, okay, now it's done. Now the ball is on their side, and they, will choose to respond or not. But it's funny what relief I thought. I'm like, boom, done. It's done.
I love it.
When I said,
I love the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I use it all the time, including getting out of bed.
When I sent out a couple messages yesterday or the day before, I was Facebook messaging people, and then what I did is I sent out 5 or 6 at once, and then I got up and walked away from the computer because I didn't want to. I was just like, okay, I did it, and I don't care what they respond. Obviously I care, but I wasn't invested in that. I just wanted to get away, and so it was done.
Yep.
So.
Good. Okay, thank you, ladies. Kara.
Hey, first, Charlotte, when you were talking about the optimal anxiety, I've actually never heard that term, and I'm a very anxious person, so I'm not sure if I could ever get down to optimal anxiety. But, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 definitely does help because, it's kind of like go or don't. So, but I had a few wins with my 30 and 30, and I had to write notes because I didn't want to forget because my mom brain. But I love how you say vitamins 1 a day. When we started this challenge, so when we had over Labor Day weekend to do it, and my family always goes south to camp for Labor Day weekend, and we have no Wi-Fi. And so I was like, well, shoot, how am I going to get this done? I was like, how am I going to send out 100 texts when, the only time we have Wi-Fi is when we go to Walmart. So But I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I started making out my list. And as soon as I had like 30 people on my list, and that's just from my head. And these were people that I had talked to before, but maybe, like y'all said, not shared the entire story. Once I had like 30 on my list, I was like, I already had the little text saved. All I had to do was copy and paste and then kind of, figure it a little bit different to some people. I just started sending them. So like once I had Wi-Fi, like once we were in town, I was sending out like mass texts, like sitting in the car for like 30 minutes, like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Okay, send. So yeah, that was really funny because I ended up doing 70 over the weekend with very limited Wi-Fi. And someone who told me that I would never get it done. So I'll mention any names. So that was a win. And then I was talking to Kim about, sorry, I do have notes, quite a few. I was talking to Kim about how it's so much easier to send out these texts and follow up with them, because when you send it, like, whereas before, I would get so anxious about just like dropping a sample or dropping the gold bag and almost kind of hoping that they wouldn't answer their door or they wouldn't answer their phone, just because I didn't want to talk to them, but I needed to do it. So I find that it's just easier because you've sent out the text, you've told them exactly what you're wanting, which is just to share the story, and most people will listen to you talk for 20 to 30 minutes to get some freebies. And I'm actually finding that the people who are responding are genuinely very interested. And it's just a matter of going through the presentation and then drinking our coffee or having our lunch and then funneling at the end. I mean, it's so simple. It's so simple. And so, it's been, how long has it been? A little over a week, and I've already had 10 appointments. Some of them have been, like when I have a friend who responds, I've learned how to say, well, if you have someone else who wants to come with you, just go ahead and bring them along. And so then you get 2 at a time. Mm-hmm. And they're friends. So they kind of like feed off of each other, and they're like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is you would like that. Or, they're already talking about like who would like what and their friends and getting friends together. So it's just very, I don't know. I just find it a lot easier. Busier, but easier. And then I had one more thing that's kind of a little bit related. As we're promoting the holiday line, I had someone actually ask me if they could use that as their starter kit. And I was like, absolutely. Because, there's some people who just want to see if they could get some extra holiday cash in there. Mm-hmm. And so promoting the holiday line, like doing holiday open houses back to back for a couple months, I mean, that would definitely get, their people into Arbonne too. So mm-hmm. That's all I have for now.
Oh, that's awesome, though. These have been great. I tell you, this is as exciting as the Six for Success when it first came out. I keep referring to that because so many of us got to region on that. And I feel that so many of us are going to get to region on the 30 and 30, the way it's been embraced. And like you said, Tara, because it's easier. And listen, you are going to be busy because you are going to be meeting people. And just remember, 90% of the group presentation from what everyone is saying is coming from these 30 and 30 one-on-one appointments. So you are going to be busier. We are going to be busier than I think we've ever been before. So anybody else? Who else wants to share? I hope we can hear from everyone. Who's next? Laura. Somebody, you lit up.
I think it's the typing or something.
Okay. Oh, Anna, go ahead, babe.
Well, I got a little behind in the beginning in sending out my text. So I sent out last weekend, Saturday, I sat down and I just sent out 50 all at one time. And it almost like I wasn't even looking at who I was sending them to. You know, I had made a list, and I wasn't even in my head. I wasn't even thinking, well, I wonder what they'll think, or I wonder what they'll say, or I wonder if I'm bothering them. I just knew I wanted to get 50 done that afternoon. So I was just sending them out without even really thinking about it. And I think part of my problem is accepting the no and not taking it personally. And I think I'm learning to do that better. I think that really the more no's you get, maybe that helps, takes the edge off of it. But I had a friend on Facebook. Now, the only way I had to contact her was through private messenger. So I sent her a message, and I really haven't contacted her about Arbonne before. And I had actually unfollowed her on Facebook because she and I used to be really close, but she's very political and kind of rabid, and I don't like to see all that in my feed.
I just need someone to, Laura, I think it's you. If you're typing, to mute. You are a fast typer too, by the way.
I am. Am I not muted?
No. I couldn't figure out what that was. Wow.
Okay. Sorry, I'm sending Renee a message.
That's good. That's okay, sweetie.
But anyway, I had unfollowed her in my feed, so I really didn't know what was going on in her life. I hadn't been keeping up with her, but I sent her the private message with the wording and didn't think anything about it. And then almost immediately she responded back just simply, no, thank you. And you know, sometimes when you get a text message or an email or something written, you kind of, in your head, you put your own spin on it. So you're thinking they're saying no, thank you, or you think they're being, you read into it when maybe they're just saying no, thank you. So I thought, I went to her page, and that's when I realized that I had unfollowed her. So I followed her so that I could start keeping up with her. But then I started looking, and I saw where she thought she had broke her foot. She had gone to the doctor the day before. So I just texted her private messenger back. That's fine. That's okay. But I'm so sorry to hear about your foot. And that kind of opened up conversation with us. And it didn't really lead to Arbonne, but it did reestablish that connection to her, to where next month maybe she could be one of my one-on-ones. And I think that she would be more open to it because we are connecting again. And I think, sometimes in listening to other people, you start wondering, like, I still haven't done any presentations in anybody's home. And I know that I'm not going to make an Arbonne business simply on social media. But social media is a way to connect with people and to build a relationship with them. And I met with a friend yesterday for coffee that is a retired esthetician. I've talked to her about Arbonne in the past. So she is an ingredient fanatic. So she has been looking at the Arbonne website, and she's very impressed with the Arbonne product and the ingredients. She has sold a wide variety of over her lifetime in her shops that she's worked in. So she's a real possibility. But I think it just is. I think the main thing for me is the text message is so easy to just not even think about who you're sending them out to. You just copy and paste it and hit send, and the wording is there, and just don't even, I try not to even think, I try to just don't even look, just hit send and go on to the next person, and don't even think about, oh my God, what are they going to think, but, I don't care if they think I'm crazy, because I like Arbonne. I love Arbonne. I think anybody that, the main thing I want is to get the Arbonne product into their hand so that they can fall in love with it, because I don't see how you can use Arbonne and not fall in love with it. I really don't. So, and then Friday I'm meeting the two girls. I actually showed them mascara, and I didn't realize that they were going to Las Vegas with their husbands together. And I thought I made a pretty good Facebook post when I put the 2 mascaras I sold ended up in Las Vegas. I hope they had fun. But I'm meeting with them Friday, so I'm excited about that too. But I think the 30 and 30 is great.
That is wonderful. Your belief is incredible. That is so wonderful.
And that's one thing that my good friend told me yesterday. She said, I told her, I said, I feel kind of uncomfortable, like I'm pushing stuff on people. And she said, yes, but you're not. She said, she opened my eyes to the fact that people are looking for quality products. People don't go to the mall and shop anymore. People are used to buying something and it showing up on their doorstep. So, when you can order something of this high quality and just simply place the order online, and then in 3 or 4 days go out and they're sitting on your doorstep, and it's exactly what you want. And if it's not what you want, you can call your consultant and she will help you with it. So
thank you, Anna. That was great. Who's next? Oh, this is fabulous. Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go. And I want maybe Anna, this might help you. When I was in real estate, we didn't want to call up people and say, "Hey, do you want to list your house?" It was kind of tacky. So we had a thing that this was in the old days. It was 25 excuses to call. We did the phone back then instead of text. And like if you saw that their child scored a soccer goal, or you went to a great new restaurant, or any excuse to call, like, "Hey, I found a great restaurant," or "Hey, I saw your son." I guess now you could text them. And what I've tried to do is I'll text them a few days ahead before I'm going to do this little Arbonne thing, so that I'm not all Arbonne. And that has worked really well for me. And I am learning more and more to embrace the no's. We used to do our goal was to get 100 no's. But I've also read this book, and we'll talk about that sometime down the road. But I tweaked the little verbiage a little bit from Kim, I forget the gal's name that did it. But at the very end, I changed mine up. Instead of saying, "Would you be willing to be one of my 30?" I said, "Would it be ridiculous if we got together?" And of course their answer is no. And they like saying no, but it's really yes. So then
Clever.
This book, I'm telling you, this book is killer. It's really killer. People, and like Kim said too, women they won't say, they won't turn you down that much, but if people feel more comfortable saying no because they feel in control and empowered. So I'm wanting them to say no. So that has helped me a lot, and hopefully it'll help you. It's still helping me, actually. Still do it.
Great. That is wonderful. Thank you. We learned so much from each other. That is very clever. And that, I think,
idea.
Yes, that's great. Okay, Renee or Sherry or Krista.
All right, I'm here.
Oh, good.
I have done, my intentions are always really good, but, and I'm not really making excuses, but unfortunately Irma, Harvey, and Jose are really a part of my life right now. And personally, and just with my clients. So, but I've actually decided to make more phone calls than I have texts. I don't know why, because when I think of the people that I'm sending them to, it just seems more appropriate. So I've actually had 3 people that I've met with since then, making calls. And I do have 2 people next week that I think will be possibilities. But I have sent out probably maybe 20 texts, but I've probably made 10 phone calls. And I've also sent out a couple emails, and I've done kind of like trying to introduce travel. I mean, having a client appointment with travel, and then introduced not the full 20-minute thing. So because I didn't want to like, "Hey, now that you booked a trip, let's talk Arbonne." But so anyhow, I'm mixing it in there. I can see that it will work. I am going to be in front of a lot of people in the next, the rest of this month. I have lots of things going on with Brenda and of course Impact. But I have my 40th class reunion. So I get to, it's the last day of the month though, I think, but that's okay. So anyhow, I think it's great, and I will, I believe in it, and I think it will have great results, and I will get to it. So, but I love everybody sharing. So thank you, everybody, Tara and Brenda and Anna, it's very inspiring, and everybody's Impact. Looking forward to going to Impact in a week from Saturday for us. So thank you.
Sherry, as my sons would say, and I hope this, since this is only our little group, I can say this. You are such a hottie. I think all the women are going to be very jealous when they see you. All you have to do is just drop and do those planks that you were doing on your 30 days to healthy living. But I think you're kind of going to be a hit. So just get ready for some jealousy in the background. Don't you think, Brenda? Oh, that's wonderful. You're going to look so good. Okay.
That's so funny, Eleanor, the plank thing. My husband and I were laughing so hard. He's like, I can't even believe you put that on Facebook. But
I love it.
I was having so much fun.
Oh, I tell you, between you and Charlotte, this 30 Days to Healthy Living this month has just been so wonderful, so entertaining, and you guys are doing such a great job. I just love it. It's been great. Okay, who's next? Krista, Renee, Shannon. I see Shannon. Oh, Shannon.
So I was telling, oh, no, it's Krista. Sorry.
No, I know. I just saw Shannon. I realized who she was.
So
go ahead, Krista.
I've had a really crazy week, and actually we were kind of going back and forth on Boxer about it. I think Friday was like my worst day of work ever, but I'm going to tell you, this 30 and 30 is like, not that I wasn't reignited at Kim's party, but it's just reassurance that it's going to happen, but you have to continuously do it. So the people that I did text, and I didn't make it to all 100, but I have their names still written down, so I'll still be working them. But the thing is sometimes for some of these, it was a second exposure. But there were people that was a first exposure that, like, never in a million years did I think that they would come and have coffee with me. And it could have been, too, because I put, like, coffee or wine, because Starbucks does wine, too. I couldn't believe that they said they would. And so, I mean, my calendar's filling. I've been in a lull, like, in the summer, and it's just nice to start to get back to this, like, sense of, like, normal business. And then I was thinking back to, this time last year I was, working to district. So anybody on the call that's, in second step, that was me. I didn't complete in my 3 months. I went back and then finished, you have to do it in 3 months. But I'm looking at area and going, like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. But just reminding myself that it's an everyday thing. Did you do Arbonne today? And I'm having to be very direct with myself about it because of everything that I've got going on at work right now. But I loved when Charlotte shared about changing your vision. And I think that sometimes our vision does change, whether we bring people on with us or different things happen in life. But I know for me, this is really, it's keeping me on purpose, basically.
That's awesome. I like what Mel Robbins said also, see your future self. And when you see your future self, it motivates you. It gets you moving. That's that vision. Okay, who else? And by the way, it's so wonderful to see brand new consultants on this call. Charlotte Richards, I think, and Dana Picas, and there may be some others that I just see phones, but so wonderful to have new consultants. Renee, do you want to share? You always do.
I'll share a little bit.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't realize that this whole 30 and 30 thing was like all Arbonne is doing this, or this was like spoken about at Impacts and things like that. I just kind of thought it was what our team is doing. So that's kind of cool. I think that'll help all of us because we'll get more stories about what works and doesn't work and different things like we're doing tonight. I did not go right off the bat and immediately start doing this. I had my two sisters in town, so I was kind of busy and put it on the back burner until just recently. I mean, I wish I was more like Anna and Charlotte and text those 50 people and because I'm one of those kind of people. I wasn't crazy about the wording, and so I kind of fiddle-farted around with it for a long time, way too long, and texted one of my friends, and she kept texting me back, and we were tweaking it and kind of made it more something that sounds like would come from me. Like the original text didn't really sound like me. It just sounded like I was copying, pasting a text. And I was uncomfortable doing that because I didn't want to sound fake. And so I finally got wording down a little bit better and sent, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 calls out and got 3 appointments. So I don't think that's too bad at all. I was actually really happy. And the ones that wanted, to learn more immediately replied back within probably 10 minutes, which I thought was pretty amazing too. And sometimes, like at the top of my brain, like maybe I'm ready to make these phone calls at 7:30 a.m., but then I'm like, I can't text them now. I got to try to think of the person and what time is the best time to text or call. And then every once in a while I'm busy myself during that time. So it was a little bit more difficult to find the appropriate time and the appropriate wording. And so I've kind of done it a little bit slower than some of these other people on the phone call, but I'm definitely getting to it. And once you start seeing that people are actually responding, it does get you excited, and it's going to be just a great thing, not only for our team, but for all of Arbonne. I can't wait to hear other people's stories.
I think that's great, Renee, that you tweaked the verbiage, because for some of us, you can send it right out, and for others, I do tweak it a little bit. I do a little bit of what Brenda says. I find a reason to text them, so it's just not right out of the blue. For some, for probably a third of mine, it's been right out of the blue because I'm busy and I just don't have time to think about it. But for the other 2/3 that I've done, I've found that connection and started with that, but not made it long. Just a quick little, hey, I saw this, and by the way, I'm doing this, and so I have tweaked it also. But don't spend forever tweaking it. Tweak it and get it out there, because we want what you do this month, the text messages and the appointments that you set this month more than likely won't produce QV until next month, or that 2 to 3 people getting together around their kitchen table. So what you do this month is really going to produce the QV for next month. And then next month's calls or texts that you send out is going to produce QV and the group events for the following month. So that's why we got to go ahead and get it done, get them out in September, so they will produce fruit in October and November.
Exactly. And when you think about it, as far as just keeping your district, just multiplying your district all by itself, in your whole Arbonne lifetime, you need 100 clients. I mean, if you get more, that's great, but for your district just to be dynamic and on fire, you just need 100 clients in your Arbonne life, in your Arbonne life. That just seems so doable, and this is going to do it. This is going to do it. Laura, did you want to talk? Oh, you're muted now. Oh, she knows. Kim, I don't know her sign language.
She's so funny.
Okay, we love you. Okay, is there any? Oh, she just cracks me up. Anybody else that's doing, any of you newbies? Shannon, I see you back there. I think you're just listening. Please don't feel like you're put on the spot. I think she's typing.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
I'm just listening.
Okay, that's okay. It's so good to see you in this environment.
Thank you. I'm learning.
That's great. It's wonderful to see you. Okay, is there anyone else? Anyone else? Kim, do you have anything else, sweetie?
I'm good. I think I've said my piece.
Okay, I know this went a little bit longer, but I hope you guys don't mind, because it's just so, I don't know, it's encouraging and it's motivating, it's inspiring to hear from each of you, And I honestly believe, and I know Kim does as well, we are going to have regions walk across that stage at GTC. We used to think just like 4 for the whole nation, but honest to goodness, it's going to be more. It is going to be more because of this 30 and 30. It's just going to multiply. So it's a snowball. Okay. With that, Kim, I think we're just going to say we love you guys so much. We appreciate you beyond words. And let's just go after it and make this 30 and 30 our mantra for Arbonne.
There you
and
go.
see what happens. Just see what happens in 90 days.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll be totally amazed at how much your business changes in 90 days by embracing the 30 and 30. All right. Well, good night, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.
Good night, everybody.
Stay on here and chat. We'll be here. If not, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for jumping on.